Are we good? I only see black screen on the stream preview, but I promise you it works. Alright, I think we're good. Hold on. This always does this every time I start a stream. Every time I start a stream. Alright. We're here. Finally. Back in Timberborn. We've got a new faction to play with today called the Leafcoats, courtesy of Bobingabout, who also made the Emberpelts. But the deal with these guys is basically everything they do is a tree or related to trees. And, of course, their coats are made of leaves. Or they look like leaves. Not sure. We're going to go ahead and dive right on in. I'm just going to play it safe with this map called Lakes. Nice, easy map so we can, you know, get ahead of things. Normal mode. And now we get to load. It's great to see everybody in chat. It's been a long time since we played with the Beavers. It's been spending some time with Transport Fever 2 and Satisfactory. But it's good to be back. I'm really excited to check these guys out. I played a little bit last night. Not a ton. But just enough to make sure I knew what to do to keep them alive so we didn't have a stream-ending disaster 10 minutes into things. But I am really, really excited by all the new fun stuff I've seen in this mod. I don't think any of you would have played it. If you have, I know there's at least one or two of you. But if you have, sound off in the comments. Let me know what you thought about them. But yes, this is Beaverburg 28. So, you know what happens now. I click outside the window and then I have to click back in it. But we are good to go here. Beaverburg 28. And out they come. 12 beavers. Same as always. 8 adults, 4 kits. Let's hit pause because I already see people firing off things in the chat. Rename a single beaver Gary. Make him the focus. Alright. You got it. This is now Gary. Gary is 14. He's homeless. And he works at the district center. So. There you go. There you have it. Oh boy, we got a lot of people in chat now. I see concurrent viewers up to 65. In a long time since we've had that many people in here. Hello, hello, hello. Unfortunately, cannot say hi and respond to everyone when chat gets going. But I do appreciate you being here. Hope you don't install the 2 add-ons. I love how brutal digging was without explosives. Well, we're going to see. I shall behave today in order to thank you for indulging me. Well, I'm glad I could inspire you to make good choices. But here we are on the Lakes map. If you've not played this, this is one of the quote-unquote beginner maps that Timberborn ships with. And as you might have noticed, the district center here starts out looking like the base of a large tree. Let's rename this. I don't anticipate we're going to be moving this at any point soon. But there you go. Now it's Beaverburg at 28. And we have some berries here. We have some pine trees up here. We got a little slope to get to them. We got some birches down here. We got some oaks and birches and berries up here and all sorts of stuff. Not a super hard map because I have to learn how this faction works. But before we get going too much further, taking a look around this asset, we do have 2 entrances here. So let's go ahead and populate those with a path. Notice the path has a slight green tinge to it. A lot of the stuff has been slightly recolored or modified or even with custom assets, and I think it looks fantastic. But here's the major difference with these guys that I've figured out is we can't plant any crops. Why can't we plant any crops? Well, because things have been moved and modified, and instead, we got a whole bunch of stuff here in the trees and bushes. We have blueberries, dandelions, which you already know, both of those, grapevines, which you might recognize from water beavers. I believe it's actually the same exact texture. Birch trees, pine trees, oak trees, eucalyptus trees, willow trees, apple trees, which you might recognize from the Emberpelts, mangrove trees, which you might recognize from the Iron Teeth, and then we have chestnuts and maples. So tons of stuff that grows in trees or on the ground in vines. The only food we can grow without having some sort of specialized building is going to be blueberries and grapevines. Now, blueberries, of course, take 24 days to get any sort of berries out of, so we're not going to be starting by planting those guys. But grapevines are going to be a very, very, very important thing for us to do. And they do require the forester, which in this mod, mercifully, is only 25 logs and does not require planks. Doing my best to try to keep up with the chat here while also explaining what's going on. Let's see. Mixed Beavers mod is compatible with Leafcoats if you want to have some guests. Oh, that's a fun idea. Not for today, of course. Hello, Devilish. Hello, literally everyone. So many people in chat. But I digress. Let's go ahead and keep on moving here. Lots and lots and lots to get through. I'm just going to extend our pathway down here. We're going to cut these birch trees first because they don't really serve any other purpose. They just have logs. Pine trees, of course, have the pine resin. Oak trees, just logs. Eucalyptus trees give us bark, which has to be received from a pruning flag with an R, not an L. Willow trees, branches from a pruning flag. Apple trees give us apples that can be gathered by a gatherer flag. Mangroves give us mangrove fruits. And then, of course, chestnuts give chestnuts. And maple trees give us maple syrup. So the pruning flag is a new building to this faction, and it has to be researched. It takes 30 science points. And it gathers bark and branches like we've discussed. And, yes, indeed, koalas. Koalas and eucalyptus go hand in hand. What else? What else needs to be addressed? I mean, we have most of the same buildings. They're just kind of shuffled around a little bit in terms of industrial things, of course, for power. We have water wheels. We have a power dam, which is a new building just for this faction. We have a power treadmill. Regular power shafts, vertical power shafts have to be unlocked. Power levees, which it's a levee with a power shaft inside. We've got vertical power shaft tunnels, power levee tunnels. Windmills, 3 different types of windmills. And this is where things start to get interesting. You're going to recognize this guy or something similar to it from the folktales. But this is a new asset. And you might notice it's the same shape as this guy. That's because every single thing in the Leafcoats, for most things, is a tree. And it has a shaft running up the middle with a ladder. So you can just create these incredible vertical structures. And you have this guy, which is a pass-through, and this guy, which is like the capstone type of deal. But it makes 500 HP. Really exciting stuff. Gravity batteries, you might recognize different types of gravity batteries. Various things. This is actually a corner piece on the tree here. So there's so much stuff you can do that's just trees. And I see stuff scrolling real fast. So that means somebody's dropped a gift membership bomb here. Oh, it's Devilish. Thank you very much, Devilish, for supporting the channel. Appreciate it. Who's got them? Casey Kitchell, Modern Evil, Ahmad, Dre Carson, John Abbott, Bootless Opossum, Chris Connor Jr., Crazy KC, and E.T. Mydust, I guess would be how that's pronounced. And Jordan Popov. Welcome back to a couple of you. Welcome to the rest of you to the Beard Boosters. We don't have the Beaver name mod working currently, which is one of my greatest regrets of the past couple months. But we're going to get back to it at some point soon. We really got to make some progress here, but I do appreciate you guys. And, of course, Devilish, thanks very much for donating memberships to those folks. So we're going to go through a couple more things before we get going proper. In the food tab, gather flag, you already knew. And we're going to have a bunch of berries soon. So I'm going to put in 2 gatherer flags to start out with. We have a food processor instead of a farmhouse. The food processor uses the same model. But what this does is acts kind of like a hybrid food industrial building, similar to what you might have seen with the Iron Teeth in the food factories, except it requires different materials, of course. So, just for the purpose of explaining what all this is, we can make fruit salad, and we can make fancy apples. So fruit salad, berries, apples, and grapes, and then the fancy apples are, well, apples, mangrove fruits, and maple syrup. So, not too complicated, but definitely something we want to get into sooner rather than later if we want to have our beavers be fed. We got beehives, you already know what those do, and then we have a fermenter, which is just the model from the Iron Teeth, but it has different recipes with chestnuts, maple syrup, and water to make fermented chestnuts, and then dandelions for fermented dandelions, which you can eat. That's not something any of the other beavers can do. And of course you got grapes and mangrove fruits to make fermented fruit. Seems pretty self-explanatory. In the water category, we do have regular water pumps, which we will need to have. And I think it's probably going to make the most sense. See, none of these are going to really want to play nice with this. I'm going to put in, to start, 2 of these, just so we don't get too overburdened here. Remember, we still have to chop trees down. That's what's going to go on down here. Put in 2 of these guys. We're going to be moving these guys around, don't worry. But I think at this point now we can safely start the clock, unpause things, get going here. And now you might be saying, well, how are we going to get across the river if we don't have any sort of stairs or anything like that? Well, in this mod, we have stairs we can unlock, but we also have a basic ladder made out of 6 logs that we can just make whenever we want. And all that does is it just attaches to the side of a terrain block or the outside of the tree and creates a little doorway. Really, really, really clever modular design with this. I really thought that was cool. So for us to get across to get to these oak trees and these other berries, which we will definitely need very, very quickly, we are going to want to put in a ladder, and then on the other side, get that connected. You can just see right here that goes right the way there. All the way across, leave a little bit of space. And we're obviously not going to be able to do all of this all at once. But getting the basic things laid out is always going to be the correct choice. All beavers should be named Gary. That's going to be chaos. We do have one named Gary. I think you were in here for that, but... let's see, there's Gary. Gary works in the district center, currently building stuff. So while they're working on cutting these trees down and building other things, we can go through a few more things in here that I thought were really cool. We have platforms and overhangs, like you might recognize from before. These are all the same. But now we have tree structures, which this is just kind of like decorative levees mixed with building blocks, mixed with all these other cool things. So we can actually build all of these tree structures with any amount of variation you can imagine. You got a side block. You got a side block with a branch access. What's a branch? We'll get there in a second. Corner blocks. And here is a branch. This is kind of like a pathway with walls on it and can be built in between things. But here's where this gets really cool. We have branch bridges, which do require metal, so we can't make them yet. But what happens when you build this is it just goes right off the side of this. And then from the branch bridge, you can attach other things to it, or you can go between different types of these big trees everywhere. And they, of course, go all the way up to 6 long. And it looks like a branch. It's just really cool stuff. I really love this. This is such a creative idea. And it is a hard mod, I've been told. But I think we're going to be fine. So, another thing I forgot to mention is these beavers love trees. So if you're cutting trees down, they get a debuff called Plant Murderer. It gives them a -2. And it's so sad. But, you know, the show must go on. These guys have to do what they have to do. And there's all sorts of interesting things. So obviously, Plant Murderer is a negative. No shelter's a negative. All these nutritions are going to be positive. Social lives, we have the same kind of things available with the other factions. Aesthetics, same kind of deal. Monuments, same kind of deal. And then for fun, it kind of combines what the Iron Teeth and the Folktales have. But there's just so much other cool stuff. We haven't even gotten into it yet. Zip lines, which... Okay, I think that name needed to be fixed, but this is very much a mod in beta, so it's possible things might crash, they might work in strange ways, we might run into roadblocks or whatever, so that's the challenge that comes with beta testing, stuff like this, but I could not wait to get into this. I think you guys are really going to like it. Landscaping, same kind of deal, until we get over here to the blasting, because Tool Factory makes shovels, and then you have to use shovels to loosen terrain, and then you can move the loose dirt out of the way with a separate thing. There's so much cool stuff. You can put terrain in, you can build a tunnel, you can build a levee tunnel, and of course we have the regular dirt excavator, but it's a tree. So it's the bottom of a tree trunk. Like, it goes so deep, everything is a tree. So, I cannot remember if he's in chat or not, but one of the members of our Discord was asking last night how to make heads or tails of the storage and all the different tanks and the housing and everything. So when we get into that kind of stuff, I guess I need to oh, they're already finished with that. It gets into kind of like a puzzle here, because you have a small pile, which is just, you know, a vertical thing with an entrance on the second floor. The medium pile is a kind of a cross section of a tree, and because of the way that this is laid out, if you want to build with a medium pile, you put this guy right here, and then the beavers will climb up to that doorway, assuming there's a path with a ladder. So I guess this would probably be the better place to put it. They can put stuff in that pile. Small warehouse, same kind of deal. The medium warehouse is a first floor entrance like that with a, well, it's a slice of a tree. Large warehouse is the entire tree trunk. Small tank, same kind of deal as the small warehouse. And the medium tank, guess what? It's part of the tree. Large tank, same kind of deal. And when you get to housing, the only one that's available right now, the medium housing unit, is, I guess you could say, 2/3 of a tree cross-section with a built-in ladder. So this is going to be your best friend when you're trying to build up on a tree, is you just stack a couple of these guys, which I'm not going to start building them yet because we need to use our early logs to, well, get water and stuff out. But you build a couple of these, and then on the other side you can put in, say, a medium warehouse just like this. They'll be able to access it just fine, and that's where you can put some early food. It's a little intimidating, a little strange at first glance, but it's going to be a pretty fun thing for us to mess with. Let's get through the rest of the night here. I don't want it to run away where I start losing stuff, but forgive my excitement here. There's just so much cool stuff with this, man. So we're pumping water. This next one's getting built as well. We will need to have a couple of water tanks, so I will put in 2 of those right here. And eventually I'm going to have some in the tower itself, but, you know, things just take time. Alright, now I have to get into a couple other things here. I got to scroll up and chat. We got a lot of people here today. Thanks for joining us. Let's see. I got to scroll back so far. Take this off at triple speed real quick. Fun fact, to get rid of the annoying tree murderer debuff, you must build a lumber press, but it's insane what injury rate it has. So, okay, a lumber press, I haven't even looked at that. Ah, that's this one. Glues branches together into artificial logs or planks so you don't have to kill trees. Okay, I gotcha. That's kind of far off, but I appreciate the knowledge drop there. Do these guys have anything they hate, such as Emberpelts with water? Well, I think we've discovered that they hate murdering trees, which I guess could be expected since they live in trees. Let's see. Oh, hey, Mike. You can put the medium pile in water as an entrance is on top. That's useful. Hey, Josh. We're going to go pick up takeout. Mmm. Tasty. Yeah, when we're done here, I'm going to go get myself some chicken. And then watch some college football later. But, let's see. This is cool. Petition to build anything that can be in a tree solely as part of a single tree. Well, there is a height limit also. Like this, I specifically chose this map because it is very low. Like this base level is 2, and the highest we can put any of our terrain is like, I think 21, 22. And there are mods that will extend height. We are aware of a couple of those. I haven't played with them. I'd like to at some point, but we have to get through our nightmare mode other things first. Oh, I'm so sorry. I'm like 5 minutes behind on chat, but I really want to make sure I look at everything, even if I can't read it out loud. Let's see. Probably would be incredibly cool on 1,000 islands. Yes, indeed. Hello, Stitches. Good to see you. What map is this? This is called Lakes. It's one of the default easy mode maps that comes with Timberborn now. I don't think it was a thing when I first started playing the game, but it is it's available as a default map. Can we make an Ewok village with the branch bridges? Absolutely you can. And I'm going to put out a call pretty soon, I guess right now since you're all in chat. If you've played not Emberpelts. Here I go again. If you've played Leafcoats and you have a cool faction, cool setup with these guys, send me your map on the colony submissions. I will do a video on it. Cuz this is some crazy stuff, man. Let's see. Is there a buff for planting trees? I'm actually not sure. Petition to establish the Garyverse and rename all beavers to Gary. And look, if I was going to keep up with naming every beaver Gary, I think we'd be here for a super, super, super long time. We need to get some science going. Yep. Let's see. Kurt, you're funny. Okay, I think I finally got to the bottom of the scroll here. But we need to get things rolling quickly here because things are about to get real bad if we don't start planting some crops. So, we need to build a forester. And what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this guy in some unirrigated land. I guess on this side is probably fine, but I want it to be a thing where I can plant as much as possible down here. I guess this is probably fine here. So we got 2 beavers pumping. We've got our ladder here. We've got our ladder here that's being built so we can get access to all of these trees. I'm not worried about saving the trees right now. We're going to get there. But we need to start planting grapes. They're the best early game food. And we are going to be severely hurting. I'm not going to plant grapes on that side. We're going to be severely hurting if we don't get a handle on those grapes immediately. I don't think even all of these can be planted, but we just got to get it going on. We also need to start planting other trees that give us food, specifically apples. So that is what's going to be planted here, because we can, you know, harvest all that stuff. And these gatherer flags can reach all of this. See, this is why I'm putting this in here. We're not going to cut these down for wood, but they are going to be good food to keep our beavers alive in the early game. Because chestnut trees and maples take so long to build, grow, whatever you want to call it, I am going to plant some chestnuts here as well, and then maple trees to a little bit of a lesser extent on this side for the sake of having the maple syrup. But this guy's going to be kept plenty busy. Once all these birch trees are gone, I'm going to turn this into some other better growing trees, like, say, oaks. Although, the way things are going now... there we go. I might as well just plant these in whatever spaces are available. And, wow, I actually dragged it to the correct corner in the first try. Cool! So, this is just about done. Get that triple speed going. But this needs to be the next thing we have going, because oh, they're out of trees to cut down. Hold on, that's not the right one. Gotta get these trees cut. Got to. Let's get that connected. Those of you who have not seen a whole lot of my videos might be wondering why I'm pausing the game so much. It's a I shouldn't say a coping mechanism. But it's like a self-preservation instinct. What Timberborn version is this mod running on? It is update 7 only. Okay, and I think a couple of you also caught onto that. Anyone seen the winners of the Build a Map challenge? I have not had a chance to check out every single map, but I did see the post, and it looks like there's some really cool stuff I would like to check out at some point. What's the TLDR with the faction? TLDR is everything is a tree. This is a brand new mod. It just entered beta recently from Bobingabout, who also made Emberpelts, if you've seen those videos or streams we did with those guys. But basically everything's a tree. They've got a couple new types of crops, couple different mechanical things they can do, and again, everything's a tree, so stuff like your warehouses are components of these giant trees. You can build additional entrances to trees. You can have ladders that go up the outside and create little doorways. And what I think is maybe the most exciting thing is you can make branches off of these and build stuff off the branches. Just really cool stuff. Just really, really, really interesting. Chestnuts and maples are not useful for now. Plant only apples and mangroves. Well, chestnuts, we have recipes for things. We can take a look here. Where's my chestnut? There we go. This one right here, fermented chestnuts. It uses chestnuts and maple syrup. I know these take like 2 cycles to grow early game because the cycles are so short. Maybe even 3 or 4 cycles. I just wanted to have those going before it was too late. But yes, grapes definitely need to be the priority. Get all this stuff taken care of as fast as we can. 30 times speed, go. There we go. Now we're planting grapes. These take 6 days to grow the plant, and then 7 additional days to grow grapes. So 13 days We're going to be wishing we had more grapes, wishing we had more berries, so on and so forth. But there are some over here that we can give ourselves a fighting chance by gathering now. And there's also grapes down here, which I guess I could have just made this a single gatherer flag. Is there going to be one of these that can reach everything? Not quite. Not quite. But I think I will end up moving that guy, just to make this slightly less horrible. How are you going to manage bad water? I have no idea. Things are going to be real rough when that comes in. That's why I'm trying to get as much food as I can early on. Let's see here. Having the trees grow early is a great plan. I'm not always, you know, great at this game. I just play a lot. So I do appreciate that people agree with with that strategy. This probably isn't going to be enough grapes. So I'm going to put in a few more over here. Chat keeps getting covered by an advertisement. Unfortunate. I don't run ads manually during streams because I feel like it's really obtrusive, but I can't stop YouTube from putting an ad in the comments, I guess. Hey, Carbon. Tree branch over bad water. Yeah, we probably could. Yeah, I want to say this is based on sequoias and not redwoods necessarily. I don't know. If Bobingabout ever comes in chat, we can ask him, but plenty of fun going on here. We're going to need some more water storage pretty quick. We also need to get some science going. I know that's something that's come up. So let's pop in, I guess, probably right here because it's way out of the way. Pop in an inventor, slightly deprioritized so we don't end up taking up beaver labor that could otherwise be used for better things. And move on from there. We've got birch trees that can be cut down. I probably should migrate these guys over to here, but we know we have extra beavers right now, so go cut down the birch trees, boys. Let's go. Okay, third of the way having the vines grown, and then of course we have to wait another 7 days, so we don't need to worry about that too much. Look, even the rubble has the green tint to it. I love that. Isn't that fun? How does population work? It fills available beds, which we do not have, and we're going to need to solve quickly. So let's do the thing where we build some housing. I'll start with 2, because I know we have 36 logs worth of construction, including these 2, and I have 41 available. But getting the first couple housing units in place is going to be good. We're going to need to also put in a warehouse, which I think for right now, the very first crop we're going to actually be able to, you know, pull out of the ground is grapes. And we don't have any extra storage for berries right now, so it probably should be allocated to berries, but don't worry, these are cheap to build. We'll end up having some for everything. But we need to be able to put something somewhere, as long as we're actually, you know, getting things going. Need more to maintain beavers. Yep, we do. We're getting there, though. Slowly. Hey, Trent. We're having a good time with the tree beavers. The treevers, if you will. Did you go over decorations? I don't think so. It's just, you know, standard decorations you see in the other factions. They've been modified, I guess, a little bit to be slightly more green. We do have the tall shrubs and the square shrubs. Regular lanterns. We've got scarecrows. Beaver busts, which, by the way, already there, but I don't think it counts as a buff there. We got the clock. We got hedges, metal fence, and wind gauges. But in addition to the hedges, go into paths and structures. We have 5 different types of paths. We have regular path, path with railings. We have path railings by themselves. We have hedge path, which is cool. And then we just have path with hedge. So you can create some interesting landscaping. I mean, the creativity in this is just off the charts. I love this so much. 2 versions of medical beds. Oh, there's a 3-person medical bed. Getting cozy, huh? One of those... Oh, no way! Oh, it's stacked. Oh, that's so cool. It's like bunk beds, but for injuries. Oh my god, man, that's awesome. That's so cool. What an unnecessary thing. But it's that's so much whimsy. I love it. Wait, does that mean this contemplation spot and that contemplation spot? Oh, no, this one's got railings. Wait a second. Is this one designed to go on branches? I think it is. Yeah, that's exactly what that is. That's so cool. We got water beavers, emberpelts, leafcoats. All we need is air beavers, and we can make the beaver avatar. Oh man, this is so cool. Man, I've played so much of this game. It's basically been my primary income for the past couple of years. I have never had this much fun in the first little bit of playing a faction. This is insane. This is so cool. I heard he doesn't read comments. Yeah, he never reads comments. He hates comments. Absolutely. What will the doctor say if the beavers start bouncing in the beds? I don't know. I guess it depends on what's happening to cause that. Yeah, we don't want the beavers to fall out. Oh, man. This is so cool. Do the upper sick beavers infect the lower ones? Oh, well, I don't know. I guess it depends on what they're going to be dripping out of their sick beds. That's a horrible visual. Man. I'm having too much fun with this. We got to move on. So triple speed through the rest of the night here. We've got... we have enough berries to keep these guys alive for a little bit, but I'm going to become slightly concerned if a drought happens before we have any grapes, which almost certainly is going to be the case. The lower ones keep coughing at the upper ones, and the upper ones keep... Yeah, okay, yeah, that's a... thanks for that, that imagery. Appreciate it. Hey, William. Having some fun with the Treevers today. So as soon as we get science... we probably should start looking at getting larger capacity water tanks. Unless somebody else has another suggestion. But because we have all these other power options, we're not dependent on water flow from water sources to do anything. We can put beavers on treadmills. We can, of course, just build water wheels and power dams. Although I'm really curious. The power dam... does it have a... I guess it does have a direction that it has to go. This feels like a really, really good early game method of generating some power. To just put in a couple of these, but that's a lot of logs. Well, early game at least. We'll get there when we get there. Alright, almost done with some berry storage. And then we probably should just go ahead and... start building one for the grapes. Just make this nice and easy. And then, of course, additional beaver housing. You know how it goes. Build another 2 of those. Look how cool that is. Captain Planet for us older, yeah. Oh, Captain Planet had the 5th element. They had a heart. The kid with the heart ring or whatever. I missed a lot. Is a power dam a way to get power? Yes, it is. Not reading that, but you bet. You bet. You better believe it. Let's see. But yeah, William, just to catch you up to speed here. Everything is a tree. Literally everything is a tree. Or can be built in or on a tree. Housing, storage, a bunch of industrial stuff. Also tree-shaped. I just think it's hilarious that it's just the model turned on its side, but it looks so cool. Tapper Shack, you already know what that looks like. Wood Workshop, again, turned on its side. It's just really, really creative in how this has been implemented here. The grinder, instead of a smelter, grinds scrap metal into metal blocks. And then the mine, guess what? It's also a tree. Everything's a tree. All trees all the time. I have birches and free stairs to get to them by the science hut. Oh, yeah, up here for sure. I don't have extra beavers currently, though. Because we need to get this other housing unit put in place because these are going to start dying of old age at some point pretty soon. And that's going to be bad news. We also need water, which is why I wanted to get this medium tank unlocked. But to get planks, we have to have processing, which lumber mill takes logs and then has to be powered. Easiest thing for us to do. And we're going to want to get those probably sooner rather than later. I'm going to put this kind of off to the side a little bit. Maybe up here would make more sense. I don't know. We don't need to be super anal retentive about this. Just need to have some sort of power generation. We have a power treadmill, which, okay, that doesn't quite work like I thought it might. Let's move this one more. This produces 60 HP. So if I put that guy there and then I put that guy here, then we will have a lumber mill to turn stuff into planks. We'll have to have some storages. Small piles, medium piles, of course. They are things that go in trees. So you know how this goes. I just have to find some way of, you know, actually building this without it being a huge mess. But for right now, we don't need storage. We just need stuff to exist. Grapes have grown up. We have another 7 days until we can actually harvest them, which means this water is going to be gone. Unless we put in dams for 20 logs each, or power dams for 30 logs each. I like that idea a lot more. So, if we were to just do one of these numbers, hold on, I guess I have to have the correct orientation here. That looks right. Let's put a path across this like we always do. And of course, these oak trees for the purpose of, you know, growing wood, as one does. For now, I'm just going to leave that there. Any of those able to be used as levees? I don't think so. It's kind of like the not water beaver mod. Because water beavers are, you know, everything's a house and everything's a levee. I don't think any of this stuff is watertight. Except just, you know, regular levees. Are some beavers doomed to have a plant murder debuff, or is there some sort of tree-friendly mechanic? There is a tree-friendly mechanic if we research the lumber press. But that obviously is a little bit further down the line. You can combine with the lumber press branches, bark, and pine resin into synthetic logs, and then branches and pine resin into synthetic planks. So that removes the need to kill trees to get stuff, and as expected, this can go near, in, or on a tree depending on how you build things. What orientation do power dams connect? That's a very good question that I haven't considered. Let's hit pause so I don't make any more mistakes here. It looks like it's on the end. So I should have... Oh, they haven't even started building this yet, so it doesn't matter. I should have foreseen that. We're not going to do a power dam there quite yet. But we do need to have a regular dam so we can, you know, retain any amount of water. This is normal mode. We're not going to have a bad tide till at least cycle, what, 4 or 5? I think we can be fine with this. Gonna be all right. So triple speed again. We are starting to run pretty low on food, which was a warning issued to me that I did heed as best as I could, but there's only so much you can do. We need another 6 days worth of growth for the grapes, which I really hope we get some more blueberries pretty soon. We don't have all of the lumberjacks idle, just some of them. Those two can definitely be paused. I think this is fine everywhere else. Gather flag, I don't need 2 of them because they're not all going right now. These guys do have other trees they can cut down. They're just not because their log storage is full, and we don't have log storage because, guess what? It's part of a tree. See, you learn quickly here. Well, regardless, once we have the lumber mill going, we can make planks, and we can get everything rocking and rolling. We got 1 beaver can work here, 1 beaver can work here. This can take care of our employment problems. And I just need to make sure. I mean, I could build a ladder here to get to these last couple of berries, which I think is going to be a smart idea. I'll just pop that there because it's a spot where it's going to fit. This gatherer flag may be able to go up by the time this is installed, but we'll see what happens. Manual power treadmill. Yep, that is what we're building here. Are they starving yet? No, but they're getting there. They're definitely getting there. I need these blueberries to come back in a very, 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 very quick fashion. 92% for that guy, 90%. Like, we're gonna get them in the next day or two, and then we also have some up here. The big deal is the grapevines here. So we're definitely going to have beavers that are hungry. We may even have a couple die due to thirst. But I think we're going to be okay. Things are going to be fine. Just have to, you know, keep on doing what we're doing. Seeing beavers green is like watching a Shrek movie. Yeah. That's exactly what I was thinking. If Gary dies, it's a restart. No. Gary's going to die of old age. He's not going to die of starvation. Famous last words. He said, how many beavers are building? We have 2. The reason I have not added more is because I need them to work these things over here. Well, they shouldn't be dying due to thirst. But I will tell you what. Before we research the medium tank, actually, I have the science to research this. So let's do that. Same kind of deal right here. So storage, we're going to have berries, grapes, and water right on top. They'll build this as, you know, we make planks here. I didn't need to put it on 30 times speed. I just need this to go a little bit quicker. Now we're out of food, so this ladder is now the most important thing ever in the history of beavers. So please put this in so I can get these berries and we can keep these beavers alive. Please and thank you. Yeah, it's a really, really, really cool design. I am absolutely in love with it. Alright. Oh, this can't reach up there? Alright, time for, I guess, another one of these up here. Which is where I had it originally. Yeah, see, none of these are ready to have berries come out, so... Pause that one. Make this the biggest priority. I know that it's the end of the day, so they're not going to, but... Somebody died of old age. This is now... Well, if we were actually making stuff, ready to go. Now we just have to wait. Just have to wait. But this is day 13, so I think we're going to get our drought warning at the start of day 14. No? Okay. Well, that's fine. There you go. You got your treadmill going, making some planks. Of course, they immediately run off and do literally anything else. Both of them can't be in there at the same time. What a pain. So this is why we need other stuff to be a little bit more optimized. They'll get it taken care of. Hopefully. Alright, at least we have these berries now, so that's something we can be happy about. We got berries here. Another 3.5 days until we have grapes, which means we are going to be just fine before we have a drought here. Dam's going there. Okay. I'll be watching football later, yes. All sorts of games on. Yeah, the treadmill really does look good. Alright, there's our drought warning. This is just fun. I love this. I just wish all the beavers working would do this at the same time, but I guess that's part of the challenge of everything, just keeping up with what makes the most sense to be doing at any given time. So now we have the dilemma of, do we rush building this to store more water because we're going to have a drought, or do we rush building the dam because then we're going to have a whole lot of water to pump? I think the dam is probably the better thing to do early on. Does faction have a wonder? A unique wonder? I don't think yet, no. We just have the Labor Monument, the Fountain of Joy from the Folktales, and the Tribute to Ingenuity from the Iron Teeth. And yes, this is sized to be on top of a tree, in case you were curious. Infraspace is coming. I'm getting there. I did buy the game, so I do own a copy of it now. I just have to be able to, you know, get used to it a little bit, and then schedule a stream to see if you guys like watching it. Okay. About another day and a half, 2 days for more grapes. Which is going to be tremendous progress. I wonder why they're not taking any planks and putting them in this construction. It's because the dam is first. Okay, well, 1.5 days. I'm going to prioritize the tank. Because I'm pretty sure that's going to be a lot more easily achievable. Let's get these guys bringing these things in here so the lumber mill can even keep going in the first place. Come and grab your materials. Let's go. Let's go. There we go. There we go. These guys have to go all the way across the map because somebody didn't build storage. We'll get there. Still kind of dicey on food, which is a little scary. But I think we're going to be alright. I need to plant oak trees in all of these empty spaces now. 1 day left. Oh, come on. You guys can do better than this. You guys can do better than this with construction time. Answer what petitions? No. We're not going to get into 24-hour workdays. That's all sorts of problems. You get into that stuff. Let's send somebody down here to grab those berries. But grapes coming in are really going to help. Tremendously. We just need a little bit more here. Just a touch. Get those last couple planks in place. Only 4 of them. Let's go, boys and girls. Let's make it happen. Surprise! No one's going home because we have an all-nighter. Houses in the tree are the middle pieces connecting the storages. Houses in the tree are currently these 4. There we go. How about that? And just for that, I'm going to leave the working hours at 18. There we go. Now we have all of this in place. First drought, only 3 days. Not that big of a deal. This is not going to be finished in time, so it can be completely deprioritized. Not that there's really much else going on right now, but we got grapes. Look at these guys. So why are we angry? Plant murder. Oh, and you're thirsty. Well, I guess that's a side effect of having the 24-hour days. Kind of understandable. But now we're doing fine. We're looking good. Let's take a look around and see how things are going to route during a bad tide. So obviously we have a bad water source here. Now this is leaving the map. So where's all the... Okay, that's a source there. So that's fine. We have some coming this way. These sources... Oh, wow, look at this. That's cool. We got a little water cave. So we got stuff coming there. Stuff coming through here. So if we want to divert a bad tide, really the only way for us to do it is to just block this off entirely. And then the extra will go... I don't know that it really can go anywhere except maybe out this side. But that's what we'd have to do for bad tide is block this off. And then I probably should remove those blockages there. That's going to flood through here. I've not actually played this map before because it was added as one of the new beginner maps, quote unquote, well after I'd already started playing the game. Remove the blockage. We'll get there. We'll get there. Right now we are attempting to get stable food and water as fast as we can. Natural dams, like the blockages? Or are you talking about these other things here? Because this is definitely where all the water comes through here, no matter what. Wait, do we even have sluices in this? Okay, we do. Good. I just remembered that I'd forgotten to check. This faction is everything trees. Every single building that is of any major consequence is a tree component. District center is a tree. Housing is tree segments. Storage is tree segments. And some of this other stuff maybe can't be easily put in a tree, but there is some way to connect it to a tree. I do have a Twitch account. I have not streamed on there in a couple of years, and I keep telling myself every single time that I talk about it, I'm going to get back into it, but it never ends up working out. Still would like to, though. I think there's a couple more source blocks above the deeper pool upstream. Would not surprise me. Let's actually take a look. Bad water, that's a mine. Source blocks here, yep. We already talked about these in the little cave. Neat design. Some right there, we already knew about those. And I don't think there's any other ones. Yeah, the rest of this looks pretty pretty barren here. Yes. We now have grapes. We've got a decent quantity of grapes. Let's open up this gatherer flag. And probably, for right now, I'll close off one of these lumberjack flags so we can get the beavers back where they're supposed to be going. We can pump for a little while longer. We're not going to run out of water in 2 days, even if we only have 100. We definitely want to have storage, so it's a good thing we have this. Population also should increase at a time, but now we need to think about other storages and piles and stuff. So when we get into this kind of scenario here, we're going to have to decide what goes on the sides here. And that is going to be, I think, a good opportunity for us to start getting into branches. But we can't build them until we have metal, which on this map, metal is all the way back here, and then we've got some over there, got some there, all the way over there. So a little bit of work to get over there, but not anything too crazy. We just have to make sure we have everything set up exactly perfectly for stuff. So 8 out of 20 there, 8 out of 20 there. They should be able to get that finished before we have our water come back. That'll be fine. I'll put that 30 times speed through the night so we can, you know, get somewhere. Alright, so now all the water is gone. We have 1.9 days. These trees will survive. They aren't little babies. Grapevines will be okay. Blueberries will be okay. The beavers are in fact green. Industrial buildings go in the tree. Yes, they do. Some of them are kind of hard to... Oh, wait. I wasn't expecting that to work. That's cool. But it still, excuse me, has to be powered. Well, that's also where the windmill comes in. Oh, wait, this isn't water beavers. I can just put anything in here and it'll automatically have power because, you know, this isn't an exercise in futility. Yeah, they'll conduct power just fine. Why do I prefer YouTube streaming over Twitch? Twitch takes half of the money. YouTube takes 30%. Also, YouTube, in general, as a platform, has been a lot better to me, personally, and in terms of usability. Discoverability is a lot better on YouTube. And I guess if you want to go all the way back, I was streaming on Twitch because I wanted to play Persona 5 with my friends. Long time ago, like pandemic time. And at that point was not monetized on YouTube. I did not get monetization on YouTube until I think October of 2021. And I started streaming on Twitch in May or June of 2021. And at that point I had not started playing Timberborn yet. I was still just doing Ostrov videos. I think I had... Oh, man. Let's say spring 2021 I might have had 600 subscribers. And Twitch was just like a way for me to have fun with my friends. I never really grew much of an audience organically on there. But people kind of got rabid over the beavers as soon as I started playing the Timberborn in September of 2021, and then it just kind of went from there. I have not heard anything about Kick except some really awful stuff that people who stream on there have done, and I have no desire to be affiliated with that. Should I move the lumber mill up into the tree? I'm just trying to figure out, because obviously we have this flat bit right here that will also allow me to do this. That's kind of cool. That's compelling. I do like that. So if I were to move this into the tree, then right on top of it, I could put in a pile. Or I put a pile, and then on top of the pile, I put the other thing. That might actually be better to do that. Well, we need a pile anyway. Let's just do it. Let's, you know, put this stuff to the test. That will go there. But I have to have a ladder somewhere. And I don't know that this is going to care. Oh, cool. Oh, I was so worried this wasn't going to work. Look at this. Look at this. Okay, I have to research this. Tree trunk side block with branch access. Yeah. Okay, so if I put my doorway here and on the other side, then I think... Oh, I don't have the science to do it, but I think I'd be able to get branch bridge off of that. Yeah, buddy, let's go. That sounds really nice. Oh, we're having too much fun. We're having too much fun. Been really enjoying your content. Glad I was able to catch the stream. Thanks for coming by. Appreciate it. Weed and warehouses can go in there. Yes. That's what we have built right here. With, not the tank, the grapes and the berry storage. How are they going to get to the lumber mill entrance? We're going to get there. Don't worry. Don't worry. It's going to be okay. There are a couple things I do want to test. So, bear with me here. If I put a small pile here, and I put a branch coming from the middle here. Okay, it's not going to let me go through the building, so that strategy is out. But I basically, to figure out what goes where past this point, I'm on my own. Or I guess I have you guys too, but this is as far as I got last night doing any of this. So we're just going to kind of see what works. I think this is going to be fine. I wish I had the science to click on this and test it out. But basically what's going to happen here is I have to have somewhere to attach a ladder, which means the block on top of this one is going to have to be solid. So I can put a ladder on it and then they can get to this. But because this is just a 1x1 central core, any ladder anywhere on any of these walls will work for anything that connects to it. We just have to get there. Let's just do log storage there. Bigger houses. We have the small housing unit, which is that. We have the medium housing unit, which is that. We have this, which is basically the entire thing, with one of the sides cut out. And then we have a double housing unit, which is the same thing. We could use this as the bottom of a tree, if we wanted to. Put a levee or a dam. I probably could. But in the spirit of keeping things a little bit more, you know, faithful to the intent of the mod, I probably shouldn't do that. Okay, 10 more logs here will get us this entire thing dammed up. We're going to want that. I'm just glad we have food and water at the end of the drought. Yeah. That was one of my primary concerns, was making sure we, you know, could actually keep these beavers alive. Usability is key when building the trees. I bet it is. Seems very important. But now I have log storage in an actual place that matters. And it's connected. So they can pop all their stuff in there. Not that they have a whole lot of logs to begin with. And we'll be okay. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to, just because I don't want to mess with planting a bunch of trees, I'm going to do a little bit of a checkerboard pattern here with all of these guys. And cut some of these trees, but not all. Just so we have an ability to keep growing pine trees and not worry too much about things. I just need more wood. That's the long and short of it. That will give me an opportunity to place a single lumberjack flag over here. That should be okay. Let these guys get to the rest of what they need to get to. Water's going to come back because, you know, these oak trees here are not going to last forever, even though these are half grown. I just need to make sure we have enough wood. So, here comes water again. The grapevines are about to be rehydrated. We got these trees in the middle of growing as well. Most of the apples are half to 2/3, so that's looking good. After that, it's 8 days to get 5 apples. All right, we're on Gary Death Watch here, because the original beavers are starting to die off. Gary's still with us. The age of 34, which if we get our well-being up, he will live longer, but can't always get what you want. All right, so let's get pumping here. We are going to need some more beavers, probably sooner rather than later. So on top of this water tank. Yes, YouTube is not getting enough video to maintain smooth streaming. Don't do this to me. We're having so much fun. We got almost 300 people in here. Wow. I still have a couple pieces I need to put in before we get too crazy here. No, I don't have... I can't see my OBS window. Hold on. Give me 1 second here. Why is it trying to stream at 35,000 bits a second? Or kilobits, whatever it is. I thought I had this capped at 20. Oh well. The faction makes children with empty beds. You got that right. You can zigzag ladders and build upward with no other supporting items. Well, that seems kind of like an exploitable mechanic. So I guess that is... It's going to let me place this here? There we go. Alright, so that answers that question, but I do still have to put stuff on the side here. That'll let us get into that lumber mill, and then I think it's probably not going to let me do this. Yeah, it has to have something underneath it. But when we get to that point, I will put something on top of this. I just have to put branches here. Does this even have number crunchers? There's no number cruncher. Not a single one. Unfortunate. Okay, that can be paused, because this one's about to be done. That can be paused. So now I can put a power treadmill. Ah, that's not connected to this. See, this is where this is going to get interesting, because I don't have a If it works, it works. Oh, I love this. Is there a tree-based observatory? Did you ever have a doubt? Of course. Refinery seems to be just kind of the normal model. Bought part factory, same. Oh, assembler has some tree bits. Charging station, then a block-based charging station and control towers. Cool. Probably coming later. I would not be surprised. Yeah, factions in beta. Tons and tons and tons of stuff I am sure is on the way. I'm just really impressed with what we already have. I think this is fantastic stuff. So we got 179 grapes, we got 121 berries. We're going to have apples. Not right now, but soon. TM. Let's get them finished with this treadmill here. And then we'll have power for this guy. We need to have storage for planks. That is a problem we'll address later. But I guess for now I can pause this. I just need to make sure. Yeah, that'll work. But we don't need to have those beavers in there right now because we have science to be done. There's always science to be done. Trees to cut down, trees to plant for cutting purposes. Okay, good. I've got those oaks marked. They're going to take a while to grow, as one does. Yeah, apple trees are not marked for cutting. Treadmill's going to have a 3 overhang directly on top of it. Really? I know this isn't what you're talking about, but I want to... Yeah, absolutely can. So we could do some other stuff up here. But I wanted to get the science to get the tree trunk side block with branch access built. So then we can get into branches whenever we have the time. Yep, this is still Timberborn. This is a brand new faction mod from Bobingabout, who made the Emberpelts. We are in the process of learning it together, live on stream, with 257 of our closest friends. In terms of these, I still have to research them. They're kind of expensive, but gravity batteries, that's a corner piece, and then this is another corner piece. So we can stick these in a couple different spots when we get there. Yeah, so I'm going to research the branch access first. Unless I... just the entrance is on the second floor. Which, actually... One of these here probably wouldn't be a bad idea. just to have a pile for planks. Seems like that would be a smart thing to do. Even if that does block us off from getting onto that side. But now I've got 107 science. So if I do that, and I click that there, then I should be able to... Yeah, look at that. That's what I'm talking about. Ha 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 ha. I've got power. Literally. Can you put overhangs hanging off the tree? Yes, I would imagine, but why would we want to do that when we have branch bridges? Isn't that cool? Doesn't this just fill you with childlike wonder? Jake, thanks for joining Beer Boosters. Really appreciate it. Your name will be in tomorrow's video for the first time. Windmills, perhaps, to get your beavers working. Those have to be researched. And if I have the science, then I can do it. But this probably would have to go on top of our next housing unit, which will go here. Which, you know, in theory, if I wanted to just put another one of these things right here, I could, but probably just should be one of these. That's just a regular branch. I don't want that. That'd be a lot of treadmills. Yeah, the windmill is going to go above the lumber mill. But it does require... This middle one requires 120 science, which we're not really that far off of, but I do still need to be able to build on top of this. Food-wise, we're looking good. Water-wise, we're looking pretty good. We need to start thinking with the next cycle or two about bad order diversion, which for the first bit is going to be just blocking this up and blocking this up. There is no elevation change here, so it shouldn't flood. It'll just all have to go out this way, flow-wise. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Should be okay for at least a little bit. We'll see what happens. So that's going to require metal. Easiest thing for us to do, outside of researching levees, let's just grab as much stuff as we can. I need to get scrap. Yeah, that's still going to be the fastest way to get to it. So I will put in a ladder here, and we'll put in a ladder over here. I don't think these beavers hate going into water, so we will allow them to go into water. Nope, I shouldn't have done that. So our scavenger flag is 250 science. Probably one of the more important things we're going to be getting to at some point. I don't think we really need to be super worried about much else, but since I have all these extra beavers, I will get them working on inventing some stuff with at least one more of these. Deprioritize the job. And we've got apples. Well, almost. They're growing. They will need a storage. And we can build more than one tree. I'm just, you know, building off of this right now. Can you widen a branch bridge? I'm not entirely sure. You want me to add a garden? Where am I going to get? Where am I going to get one of those? So we've planted just about everything we can reasonably use right now. Mangroves, actually. Well, I don't have a lot of forester coverage in here. Yeah, we just have to wait. I'm going to wait to get to 250 science and unlock the scavengers. Because then that's going to allow us to get to the grinder at some point. But we, in the middle, are going to have to get to gears. Which I guess we probably should start right now. Let's go into the middle of a tree. It will. But I'm going to need more housing, so this probably isn't the best place for that to go. We can build this on the ground. There is, you know, nothing that says that's not possible. But it is going to have to be powered, which this is not going to support. So we're not going to get to gears quite yet. Absolutely correct. Absolutely correct. It's always worth playing Timberborn every once in a while if you've done everything you think you've been able to do. Because there's always going to be some sort of interesting mod you can try. Garden is first in the well-beings. Oh, it's got the... Okay. I saw the campfire icon, and I'm like, well, that's not a garden. All right. Yeah. Put one of these in. Oh, so instead of the fire, it's got... Okay. It's got the shrubs and stuff. That's neat. You can attach trees via branch bridges. Absolutely. And all sorts of interesting stuff. So, day 11. No drought or bad tide warning. In cycle 2, in normal mode, you're probably not going to get a bad tide anyway. But not going to be too much longer before we are going to want to think about it. Which is why I think it would be really nice to have sluices early. I've got all these beavers who aren't doing anything. I have been mismanaging the you-know-what out of this. Put in a couple more inventors. Just so they have something to do. We have the wood. That should be fine. I've still got one of these guys here. I don't really need to worry about the berries so much. No, I don't want to add another branch spot if it's not going to be a branch. That's what the regular side block's for, but I can't research it. Well, I could, but I'm saving my science. Pool behind the blockage would be a good mangrove farm. Are you talking like right here behind the dams, or are you talking about all the way up here? I think, is this going to be in the range of... Oh, this guy absolutely would. Get it? Wood. Anyway. Let's do that. Let's put this forester in and then just plant, not willows, mangroves. So we can have some more of that. Mangroves there. And then, well, we are going to want willows eventually because they're going to give us branches. So, see, two water right now is still fine. And the pruning flag needs to get access to this. We just need to have this before we need them. If that even makes sense at all. Is that in the range for this? Yes. You never know just how much of this you're going to need. Willows can go on water or on land? Oh. Of course. I remember from RuneScape. Well, if that's the case, then this really should be all mangroves. Within the range of this guy here, which I guess is one more. And then, I guess this is fine. Well, I have the ability to take care of this correctly. So if I do right here as a ladder, that'll help get things at some point. There we go. There we go. Get those mangroves planted because we're going to have a whole lot of water here for a while. To the right of the scrap metal. Oh, you're talking about right here? This is... Oh, it is completely surrounded, isn't it? Oh, except this. We'd have to block that off. That would not be a bad spot if it were irrigated. So we do have... Oh, look at this. They're different colors. That's nice. You know what I haven't tried? Is the first person. Look at this. Look at them. They're so green. Oh, you can walk through it. Look at this. Look at this. We're in the garden. Field of view of the camera is a little bit narrow, but we're in there. Look how cool that looks. Look at that, folks. Oh, I love this. That's so cool. I think planting the willows in the water should make them grow faster. Are you just guessing, or is that something that actually happens? Doesn't seem to say anything. Huh. I don't know that we can walk up ladders. It's never worked in the previous ones. So, no, I mean, I can jump, but that's about it. Unfortunately. I still have extra beavers. Do we still have Gary? Is Gary still with us? Yes, Gary at age 44 is still with us. Praise be. Okay, 30 times speed through the rest of the night here. We're getting closer to apples. Chestnut trees gonna follow behind, and then maples, and then we're gonna have some oaks here in a little bit as well. Still have enough wood for the time being. Remember, I'm trying to get to 250 science so I can start getting scrap metal, even if it is a slow process. Beehives grow trees faster. They're not just going to sting all the beavers to death. That's why I always hated the beehives. They never ever did anything for me except pain. Oh, not for 400 science. Absolutely not. Get out of here. I need a little bit more here. I love the 30 times speed. Timprove is such a great mod. Just about ready. There we go. So now somebody gets to start scavenging. And I don't have any real convenient way to store, well, any of this. But I will put a little pile here for some scrap metal. That's going to be slightly closer. Then we'll get everything else figured out. Do you think this actually supports hex codes for color? I guess it wouldn't be hex code if it's more than 6, but let's try it out. I took exactly 1 computer science class in 2011, and it did not go well. Let's see. Was that 8 zeros? Guardy. There you go. Whoa! It disappeared. Well, somehow I don't think that worked. Well, for what you wanted it to be at least. So, Gary it is. Gary is always behind you. I don't know. You'll never know unless you look. Alright, so 52 science. I can use that to unlock either... Ah, here comes a drought. Well, we have full water storage. Right now, having 14 beavers is perfectly fine. I only have 300 water. Probably should have another one of these tanks at some point. But this is going to be another housing block. And then a windmill on top of that when we get there. And then I probably need to put in... Oh, there's so much to think about. Probably need to put one of these in. Obviously not going to fit there. It's going to have to go on top of the windmill. It's a whole thing. And this is only 120 science. We're not that far away from having that. Name still needs to be after the code. Well, that's what I thought I did. All right, let's try this again. As soon as I remember how to... No, that's the wrong one. So what was that? Color equals... There's no quotes or anything involved? Okay, so let's try 6 for the hex code. There we go. It's not green. Because, 0 is black. Let's see. What is the hex code for green? Blue hex code is 0000FF. You want him to be blue? No, I'm pretty sure it just changes the color of the name. Let's try this. So that's blue. Gary is... Alright, single time speed. Show yourself, Gary. Oh, he is blue! Oh, no way! Oh, no way! That's so cool! Well, all the other beavers are green, so, oh, boy. Put the color on the district name, and then it affects all the beavers in the district. Oh, wow. Oh, this is so cool. This is... It should be illegal to be having this much fun. Who knows, it might actually be. I'm not reading that, but yes, congratulations. All right. All right, we're gonna commit more color-based nonsense with Gary here. Oh God, where's the okay? It has to be equals, and then you said 8 zeros makes him transparent with a shadow, but it disappeared his name. Is FF000 red? I should know. That, yep, that is red. What'd you do in Timberborn stream today? We played with hex codes. Let's see. Let's rename him to Clear Gary. Did I run out of... I ran out of spaces. Okay. So now we did this again. Where is he going? He has to have something to do so he can come out and we can see him. Is this modded? Yes. This is a new faction called the Leafcoats. That is a mod from Bobingabout, who also made the Emberpelts mod. All right, Gary. Come on out. Come on out so we can see you. Or not see you. All right. Well, that's what that looks like. No, I don't think I need lunch break on normal. That was for I'm gonna turn him back to blue because I thought that was hilarious. What was that? Was that for blue? Yes. Blue Gary. That was for the apocalypse mode. And the next apocalypse mode I do, I will be using that. Void Gary. Yeah, he's not building anything because there's nothing for him to build. Mangroves are looking good. Mangroves are looking good here, and then I've got on this side some willows that will grow at some point. But I have 136 science. I have a choice to make. That is, do I just get the regular tree trunk side block, or do I research the gear workshop? I think long term we're going to want to have this. And I'm not going to be able to put the gear workshop until I have the windmill anyway, so. But I can't build the windmill until I have the other thing on top of it. Okay. Might be unpopular, but I'm just going to go ahead and do this. Just so I can get everything else popped in place. And then after that, we'll build a windmill on top. Research the other ladder. You need it for the trees. Do we? Because what we had done previously was I just... you see Blue Gary going around. I put this this ladder just by rotating it around. It didn't seem to care. So that seems like it was okay. Okay, Gary is... we had a playthrough over, I guess, at this point, like 6 months ago almost. When Update 7 first came out into early access, whatever. We had a playthrough with the Iron Teeth on a very hard custom map. And there was a single tree that died in the middle of a reservoir area. And people decided it was named Gary. So... That's all I got. I don't really fully understand it myself, but he kind of became an unofficial mascot of sorts. And there's an emote named Gary, which is just a screenshot of Gary. We also have a long-standing beard booster named Gary, who is not the same Gary, just to be perfectly clear. How's the new mod? We're having a fantastic time. Absolutely loving it. This is fantastic stuff. Any one cube houses? I don't think so. I think we just have this one, which is like a third of a tree. This one's 2/3 of a tree. This one is an entire level with side access, and this one's 2 levels with side access. I'm pretty sure that's all we've got. But we almost have 120 science, and here it is. Windmill time! So, this is going to give us power, and we're going to be able to, well, power everything. And that's that. Why does this look like this? It's tree trunk side block. That's very strange. Oh well. Big tree tower thing. So this is our, well, it's a tree. Everything in the Leafcoats is a tree, just like everything in Water Beavers is a house. So you can make these big trees. You can have branches that come out if you research them. And then you can attach stuff to it. A whole bunch of buildings go in or on a tree, like we see here with this lumber mill. It's just a really, really cool thing. No, I did not pause the water pumps. But we have less than a day, so it's not going to be an issue right now. It's going to be funny when we get to the point where the rotating series on the channel is 3 different mod playthroughs at once. Yeah. That's probably going to happen. Depends on what else happens with other games. If and when we ever get the next Ostrov update, that has been like 2 years in the making. We are absolutely dropping everything we have to play that for at least a week. But I am really having a good time with this. I think this is fantastic. So now we're going to be able to have 20 beavers. This is going to need to have some more lumber, so we're going to have to get that going. And then I'll be able to get rid of that. Apple storage is full. Yeah, we're going to have to build more storage. We will get there. It's going to be alright. Alright, let's get this thing rolling here. We've got almost full storage of the scrap metal, and this is cycle 3, so we're going to want to make way toward maybe getting some sluices, or at least levees. Hopefully. We'll get there. And I need this to be finished. And there we go. We have a windmill. It's not going to be running all the time, but it is now an option. And I guess I can pause. There we go. Alright, next thing on top, we said we wanted to have some storage. So, medium warehouse for apples. Not going to be a bad idea. Let's... You know what? No, let's do this... let's do this slightly differently here. I'm going to put a gear workshop coming out of this side of the tree, because I think that's going to look neat. And that is outputting 162, so we'd need more for sure, but... We will we'll get there. This, I don't think, needs to have a guy in there right now. Oh, those weren't marked for cutting. Let's take care of that. Get rid of those. And then I can just pause the rest of this. Gravity battery, also tree trunk. It'll go into corners. We have just regular ones like you'd normally find, and then you have this that goes in a corner like so. Then you have this one that is the other corner. So you can put them basically any 4 corners of this will work as gravity batteries. Pretty cool. No, no, no. Gary has died of old age. Absolute tragedy. Absolute tragedy. Which of these children will be crowned the new Gary? I choose this one because the name starts with X. All right. You know how this works. It's Gary time. Gary 2. There we go. Always must have a Gary. It's just like the penguin game. Gotta have Pamela. Hey, thanks, Mikey. I really appreciate it. Hope you're enjoying checking this out for a little bit. Let's see. Just wanted to swing by and say hi really quick. I'm at a convention. Can't watch right now, but excited for the VOD. Sounds fun. I know an Atlanta Dragon Con is this weekend. But I'm sure there's other conventions everywhere else. Basically, houses, production, storage, and power can all be in one trunk. Yep, but there is, of course, still the height limit. But we can connect other trees with bridges like we've discussed. And get some pretty neat stuff going. There's so much cool stuff with this, man. So much cool stuff. So I'm going to remove that so we can get the materials back. And of course, if the wind is not blowing, there's no power for this. Gravity batteries will help with that. But I think I'm going to want to put gravity batteries much higher up. Make sure Gary has all of the amenities. The other Garys don't matter. Well, well-being of 7's not looking too shabby for where we are right now, considering the average is 6. Can you put bridges between tree houses? Yep. Absolutely. Ewok Village is pretty much exactly what a lot of people are thinking of with this. Gary 2 works in the inventor. He's a very smart boy. Very smart. He's inventing new items for us. Apple storage. Oh, I never built that. That's right, because I wanted to put the windmill in. Well, we can start by doing. I'll put this on this side for apples, and then here it is. Gear Workshop can go here. So that's going to give us some other stuff to take care of here. I am very curious. I don't want to spend the science yet on the gravity batteries, but there's going to be a little bit of strategy to, not hitting the stuff that's overhanging here when it comes to gravity batteries. Whoa, hold on. Hold the phone. I see a lot of stuff scrolling, which means somebody dropped a huge membership gift. Wowee, Stuart Bet, thank you so much for supporting the channel. 50 gifted memberships. Oh boy, here we go. Who's got them? Deanne Stratford, Llama of Doom, Knockmeister 666, A Cunningham, The Red Girl, William Langston, Talented Panther, SJ, Colin Warren, Live with Will, I'm assuming is what that is. Viper Sand, Hoffman, Break Tracks, Obi-Wan Kenobi, what a name. Letharius, Sean B, Sea Rider 283, Corky, Tron, Roki S, Noodles, Matthew Lowe, Christoph Grimberg, Matthew Shorts, Anthony Nelson, Benjamin P. I gotta scroll up again. Hold on. Here we go. So this used to happen. This used to happen every time we did a Timberborn stream. Benjamin P was the last one, I think. Marcel Clark, AMCG, Steffi, Godflame, Adonai, Paladin, Dragoon Rider, Michael Deem, Alexander, Kololo, Sora Nakamura. A couple of these names I recognize. PJ Komu, Nick Garrett, Elemental Exposure, Dimitri Lagos, maybe. Horatio Gabara, Shambles, Z Fedruich, Tyler Whatmore, Devin McDougal, Games. How'd you get a name that's just Games? That you gotta have that account for a while. Let's see. Andrew Johnson, Rogue Operations, Rig, Chrissy of Hailfire, Oh, see, you told me how to pronounce this. A Gluff Potato, I think, is just a really creative spelling of that. Slimy Amphibian, Randall Keating, and I think that's everybody. All 50. Wow. Again, thanks so much, Stuart. I really appreciate it, and I am glad we got 50 more people in here who get to be part of the fun with the Gary emotes now. Sorry to add a few hours to your end note on the next video, but not too sorry. Hey, never apologize. That's what keeps the lights on, man. I really, truly do appreciate it. Thank you. So that's even more fun. Even more fun when I go and fix the name list at some point. But we're almost done with this gear workshop, and I want to add some more stuff for branches here. So I'm going to put in one there and one here. Then on top of that, I'll put in... See, there's a reason why I did it this way. Okay, so the good side on the outside, which I did not do here, unfortunately, can't really do anything about that now. Rotated in that way, and then that's going to give us an opportunity to do some other stuff up top. This is just so exciting. So much cool stuff. Do I support you by watching your videos only? Sometimes forget to like due to financial situation. I'm not able to become a beard booster. Hey, that is a-okay. Nobody ever owes me anything. Let's make that abundantly clear. It is totally okay for you to just watch videos and be part of what we're doing here. Nobody owes me anything. I'm always grateful for any support that people choose to give, but at the end of the day, I'm playing games online, and we're just trying to have a good time. So you being here is plenty. I don't hate money. No. But the most important thing for me is that we have a fun time playing games together and just forgetting about other nonsense, which usually ends up happening in these anyway. No, Hoff got a gift membership last time around. I guess it must have expired by now. Check the corner gravity batteries again. Same corner difference is the reach from the trunk. So, that is... Yeah, you're absolutely right. Oh, because these can just be flipped. That's right. Cool, so we can actually go all the way around these. Good to know. So much fun. Grinders probably should be one of the next ones we build after we have the gears and stuff. So I've got that there. We talked about the piles. If I don't want to have branches on both sides, so I'm going to have one here, and I have one here, and I have one here. I guess that's probably fine. I'm going to need to have more storage for stuff, because I've got... see, the problem is trying to get all of this in a single tree. It's probably not going to work. I donate because I can, and I like watching someone play with beavers online. You got to be careful with that one. Love your content. Thanks for being here. Not possible without everyone participating and giving suggestions, advice, and just being present. Gives you a limit of 8 batteries per tree just below the toppers. See, that's what I was thinking, yeah. Oh, yikes. Sorry to hear that, Marina. But you get to be here. Which, I don't know, not really a consolation for having to miss a wedding, but I'm glad you're here. Oh, God. No. Oh, no. We're not doing that. Gear Workshop's just about ready to go. And it looks like this is just enough power to take care of all this. Cool. Wait, they haven't built this yet. Okay. So here's what I'm going to do. I'm going to take this out, and I'm going to instead make a storage for gears. Because that probably should be right where everything's being produced. We'll still have a branch access here, so we have a branch here, here, and then maybe I'll have another one going that other direction when we get to that point. Are there canopy elements producing wood on top of the big tree? I'm not really sure. Because we do have branch bridges, and then we just have regular branches. But I think that they have to be think they have to be dealt with from down below. We got mangroves. Mangrove fruits storage is going to need to be a thing. Let's also get started on a pruning flag. Because that's going to give us branches from here. Take that gather flag out. Just modify this ever so slightly. So the pruning flag is going to gather branches, which, if you were paying attention earlier, is going to be something that goes into the lumber press, so we don't have to have the plant murder debuff by cutting down trees. Time for a second tree, possibly. What would be perfect for this faction is if beavers populated through planting seeds and baby beavers grew like trees. That would be really cool. Like Ents or something. I've gotten a lot of requests for people to make modding tutorials in this, and I have to figure out how to do it without messing up what I already have installed. Because it should just be pretty much automatic unless something is just set up horribly wrong. If you're going just from within the game, it should be almost impossible for it to go wrong unless you're trying to use mods that aren't compatible with each other. I don't know, and some of the stuff does have to be installed manually by downloading from mod.io, but I honestly haven't had very many issues with it. I'm going to have to take a look at what I can and cannot do without just completely nuking my entire thing. Because I think I replied to a comment where somebody asked this. But I've got like 4 or 5 different sets of mods I'm rotating through. It ends up being a lot to try and rebuild. Oh, yeah. Okay, the setup for Update 5 modding is not even remotely the same. I probably should take that video down because that's not how this has worked in a very long time. With Update 6, they added native mod support, and Update 5 was downloading everything manually and making different folders. So if you followed that, it absolutely is not going to work doing that. So if you just delete all of the whatever that you've downloaded and then just go in from inside Timberborn with the mod button, then it should just let you get whatever through that and it not be that big of a deal. Okay, now I have to reorient myself here. I've got Gear Workshop going. We have 300 science. What was I going to research next? These branches are good to connect to other trees. But to do that, we probably are going to have another tree kind of close by. But I don't have another branch going this way at all. That would have to be above like this. Alright, let's make a commitment right now to have this be a branch going out this way. If I unlock the branch bridges like that... Wait a second, why is that not going to work until I have something attached to it? I guess. Well, we'll let him build it anyway. It's just 6 logs. I think I'm going to want to put a second tree here-ish, but I can't make it another district. So maybe the bottom double housing unit would make sense, but it's only got 1. Alright, I gotta take a drink real quick. All this talking for the last almost 2 hours is drying my throat out quite a bit. Yeah, Mod Manager I haven't used since Update 6. Because it used to be, before they had the native support for it that they do now, Mod Manager used to be the quote-unquote easy way to do it. I never got it to work, so I just never bothered with it. But that used to be the way that people would do that. They download the Mod Manager mod, which then gave it a graphical user interface from within Timberborn to download stuff from mod.io. Please hold. Apologies, had to pause so I could clear my throat and take some drinks of water here. Don't forget mod profiles. I definitely did forget about mod profiles. I'm going to have to look into that. Sluices and grinder. Yes, grinder is going to be the next important thing. Thank you. 300 science. It takes 200 HP, so we're going to have to probably pause some other stuff. Yeah, let's go ahead and research this. I do have gears being produced, but if this is going to connect to a tree over here, then we're going to need to have some other stuff. And I think housing here, not going to work. Why not? Is this already too high? No, it can't be. So what is... What's the damage with this? Is it because I don't have a ladder somewhere? Alright, I know this is probably nauseating. There is a ladder there. And there is... Oh! I blocked the ladder. I blocked the ladder. This side block needed to not be here with branch access, because this is a doorway. This is a doorway. And this is a doorway, which means this branch access can't be here. Because it has to be a ladder. Okay, so let's flip that. Let's flip that and make this the side access. Or not the side access. Let's make that that. Make that that. That goes there. There. That's going to save our butts. What was the other one here? Side access. There we go. That's what our problem was this entire time. Like, what the heck was going on here? Okay. There we go. There we go. I was wondering what in the world was happening here. Good. Good, good, good. So now I have these corner bits that I can't do anything with and can't build anything on top of without having something in the middle. Which, for those of you keeping track at home, may be a decent place to put a gravity battery, but I can't build one yet. But I'm going to have... Oh, wait, this just goes off the side. Cool. That is actually really convenient that that would go there. Oh, wow, this looks heinous. No, you don't need to apologize for distracting from the game. It's still relevant. It just kind of breaks up my train of thought, and I do have to get back onto there, but that is fine. I don't want to be the kind of person that just ignores chat when they have actual questions that I can maybe help with. Do you need to turn the access around 180 degrees so the window's on the outside? No, because that window for the access is actually how the internal path connects. I'm pretty sure. Yeah, I hope Skystorm is doing well. Haven't seen a Timberborn video in quite some time. This is the Lakes map. It's one of the beginner maps that comes with Timberborn. Mod profiles are in Timproof. Ah, okay. Timproof is a fantastic mod, by the way. I have it installed currently. There's a whole bunch of cool stuff it does. And I haven't really gotten into much of it. So, I mean, going by what we've built in here, this kind of is the industrial tree. We got a grinder coming in here, we got a gear workshop, we've got a lumber mill, got our windmill, and we got some storage down here, and I'm going to, of course, have some other stuff in here. Alright, too far from a district and cannot be built. Is that because the medium housing unit hasn't been finished? No, it's because the ladder hasn't been done. But that's the only one they can reach, so I guess that's going to be fine. We still have Gary, too? Yes, we do. Ripe old age of 14. Well-being of 8. Alright, let's get this 30 speed. There we go. So, branches should be, in the next couple of days, available for us. We're going to need to have storage for those. For where we are now, I know this is Not a tree. Maybe we should have another tree over here somewhere. I don't know. We got ideas. Some of them are good. Some of them are very not good, but we do have ideas. Need to get bark going as well. What is that? Where does bark come from? Oh, eucalyptus, of course. Is this going to be in range of... Oh, of course it is. We got so many trees. So many trees. Eucalyptus time. And then we planted chestnuts, planted maples. We don't have a lot of maples, but we do have some. We planted mangroves, apple trees, willows, eucalyptus. Got oaks for actual wood that are available here. So let's undo that guy. There's no more trees that can be cut over here. So pause that. There we go. We're still down, so we do need some more beavers. But I think it's going to make the most sense for us to have a second housing area over here. Because it's going to be a straight line connection to this. All the way across. When we get there. Temproof 4 mods is a separate mod. Oh, okay. There's a lot of mods. You know, yeah, you don't have to make the color of the beavers green because all the beavers are green. Lucked out on the glitch for the windmill. Deer shows 30 logs, 25 planks, 20 bark. There's multiple windmills. That's also not windmills. Yeah, the one you're thinking of is the large windmill. Or, oh, no, okay. Okay, 30 logs, 25 planks, and 20 bark versus... Is that a glitch? Well, if it is, then it worked out really, really well in our favor. So, hooray. Is bad water still a thing in this mod? Yes. We just haven't had one yet. So I do have a branch access here, but the thing we're going to run into is trees are not going to be able to reach all the way across. Remember, the maximum length is 6 for a branch bridge, which would take us to there, which means the other tree that we were building would have to be like right here. So, you know, in due time, we might be able to get over there, but getting over here first is probably going to be just a little bit easier. Now, we don't, strictly speaking, we don't have to have any of these other housing units researched to be able to start another tree over there. We can probably use any other manner of things. But it's going to be easier for us to just do this kind of bottom of a tree. The bridge spot is too close to the gear workshop and won't allow... Alright, well let's try this. You are unfortunately correct. So that's going to go away. And we'll have to put something else in here. What am I going to do with this? Because this is just a medium housing unit. Medium tank. These are all 2 blocks high. Is there anything that's 1 block high that's not like a... Well, I mean, small housing unit for 50 is probably not the worst thing I could be doing. It's going to be the simplest one to build, so we'll put that in. Thanks for catching that. That's going to mean that this goes right here. Okay. Do you have any water in the tree? I do, in fact, have some water storage. Can bridges be butted end to end? I would assume so. The strongest tree for RCE. Oh boy. I would love to see him try to play this. Although he's I think he records his videos like really far in advance. Then built up a whole bunch and releases them because he's doing different stuff every day. I know he gave water beavers a shot once. I don't think it lasted very long. But I think he'd really like this one. Thank you, YouTube. I'm now live on my channel, yes. 2 hours and 25 seconds ago. But thanks for looking out, I suppose. We have all the planks, we have all the scrap metal, we have all the gears. We just need to get everything brought in here. And then I have 116 science. We can't lose track of our goal to have sluices enabled, so I might hold off on building that second tower for a little bit. Just to make sure I can make enough science. But having additional beavers is definitely going to help as soon as they can get into that. Yeah, I really like the series he just started. I was joking in the Discord that, oh, he stole my idea. With like, he's no possible way he could have known that's what I was thinking of doing. But playing on the ant farm thing, it's been rough. It's been rough, but interested to see if he's going to be able to pull it off. Seems much more sane than water beavers. Yeah, it feels kind of like, and people have said this too, it feels kind of like almost a midpoint between the Emberpelts and the water beavers in terms of crazy new inventions and different things for the beavers to build without the eternal suffering present in the water beavers mod, just fundamentally. But our priority now really needs to be bad water diversion, so what's our source strength looking like? Let's just real quick, let's go into dev mode. I've got 5 of these. That's 1, that's 3, that's 5, that's 7, 8. 8 strength here. Those are blockages, not other sources. I've got 8 strength there. I've got here another 6. So that's 14. There's no more clean water on this side. No. So that's 14 there. And then here, this isn't going to be an issue. So, excuse me. I really need to talk less and drink more water. And now my computer's dropping frames. I really hope it doesn't make me end stream early. But 14 strength coming through here. If I block it off on this level, because this is all entirely flat, it's going to have to go somewhere. That's going to back up here and here, which means it all has to come from these two. If I block this, all has to go here, which, again, has not changed height yet. And will come, if this is blocked also, through here, along this. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 edges. For the sake of preventing flooding is not going to be enough for 14 CMS. So that is going to be a really big challenge. And I'm not entirely sure. If I were to get rid of these blockages here, because this is all the same level, that would give us this secondary route, which would be 1, 2, 3, 4 additional. So that would give us a total of enough. Man, I wish this would stop dropping frames. This is very frustrating. As long as, you know, you guys can still see stuff, I guess that's okay, but I could send it to the east. I could, but then it is going to flood anyway because this blocks here, so it would still come through this side and then fill this up. So that wouldn't really be an immediate solution. Okay, the amount of this is dropping like 2/3 of frames. Like, is this? First of all, can you hear what I'm saying? And is it possible for you to even follow what we're doing? The problem is I'm streaming in 1440p, which I don't think my internet can actually handle. So I may have to modify. That. All right. Please hold here. I don't know if I can do this in the middle of a stream. Let's see. Yeah, I definitely can't change resolution, but it might. I'm gonna be really mad if I have to stop this. This is so frustrating. Well, anyway, the point I was trying to make was that, take this out of dev mode. If we're going to completely block stuff off, we are going to need to give it another way out here, which would easiest way to do it would be to get rid of this blockage, which would allow it to flow through here. And then from there, it just goes this way, and then off the edge of the map, which should not be a problem. No, the issue is not with the frame count. The issue all at once. My computer is currently running at 425 frames per second. It's not the hardware. It's the internet connection. See, now it's fine. It's the connections to the server is not dropping frames anymore. So, short of Comcast figuring out how in the world they can, you know, give me more than 40 megabits per second upload speed in the year 2025, this is going to be a forever problem. Unless I want to spend the money to have fiber routed under the street. Yeah, I decreased the height so I could look at other stuff. It's still here. The beaver's actual plants, or do they have green fur? Well, the fur is green. The art for the faction is, you know, it looks like it's leaves. But the important thing is that we have a grinder, and we aren't really producing enough power to do much with it, but we have a special friend called a power treadmill that we can, you know, force these guys to run on that will improve our, you know, situation a little bit. Now it's buffering again. Yeah, my download speed is 1400 megabits per second, which is like 5 times more than I actually need. The only reason I have this tier of service is because it was the fastest upload speed. To get a slightly more sane 500 megabits download speed, the upload speed would have only been 20, which that doesn't work. Yeah, I have no interest in attempting to get satellite internet, regardless of who's behind it. I mean, I have, like, AT&T fiber is available, theoretically, in my neighborhood. I watch them trench on the other side of the street. But there's installation costs and all that other stuff that I do not have the funds for right now. And I don't know that the house is set up to actually have fiber installed without somebody coming in and drilling through the bricks and going in crawl space and stuff. And like, I'd rather just do that myself instead of having whatever random guy that works for some subcontractor of a subcontractor just coming in and drilling holes and stuff. So we'll see what happens. Upload speed's 40 megabits per second, which is not enough to run 1440p 60 streaming unless you have the bitrate turned way down. Yeah, it's just an unfortunate situation because I upgraded for the videos to 1440p because the hardware handles it just fine. I don't have a problem recording the videos, it's just the network bandwidth is not sufficient. Oh, man, I really don't want to stop this. We're having a good time. Push the button, Kronk. Or pull the lever, I think, is the actual line. Yeah, this still dropping some. Like, I'm going to keep going until it gets to be really unbearable. But, yeah, I'm going to have to figure something out. All right, let's take a swig here. We need to get beavers to put in sluices here and here, and then we need to have this routed out this way, which also, for what we're working on here, I guess this blockage could also be demolished. Would definitely make it faster to get over here. Let's go ahead and get these marked for demolishment. Demolishment, probably not really a word that exists, but we're going to use it anyway. And, oh, there's that warning on the other monitor again. I'm going to keep going until it gets really unbearable. My first graders all humming at the same time. Oh, yes. Oh, yes. The stories I have heard from my friends who work in education. I truly do not know how you were able to do it. I truly don't. Well, we need the educators now more than ever. So, I appreciate you dedicating your life to the betterment of the children. There used to be too much water coming in from the north on this map for a single layer dam. Why did I just get a notification on that? Okay, so now we're just making random noises. Cool. Alright, that's connected there. That's going to get taken care of. So the amount of water coming through here, if it is in fact too much, we can put other stuff on top of it. I just need to be able to actually build this stuff. We can still research levees. That should not be a problem. Why? Oh, okay. The power is just so incredibly slow because we have all this stuff going on and very minimal power supply. I think I can pause the gears just so we get a little bit more power going into the grinder. Now the lag is actually really terrible. So here's the thing about... Oh, I'm going to get myself in trouble. Here's the thing about Comcast Business. Is they charge so much more money for the same quality of service just because it's a business thing. I'm paying... The amount of money I'm paying now... If I were to switch over to a business account, which, I mean, I have an LLC. I am an actual company doing actual work from my home. Like, that's completely above board. If I were to spend the same amount of money, I would have a service that the download speed was only 120 megabits. And the upload speed would still be the same as what I'm having now. And they're weasels with price protection. This is not slander. This is actual fact. They are really sneaky with that stuff, with experiences that I've had elsewhere. I do not want to allow them to do that to me. I've had them before as a business customer. A couple different places. When I lived in a college house, we had 7 guys in one house, and they just introduced data caps. It's like, how do we not have a data cap? Well, if you get a business account, like, okay, well, who works from home? I work from home. Cool, let's do it. And that was okay. But the price just kept going up and up and up and up and up. Like, okay. I'm not going to do that. I'm not spending that much money on internet. Now it's buffering more often. I have dropped 40,655 frames. Let me get my thing through the night here. See, if I stop the stream and then restart, then it kicks everybody out. I don't know. See, I hate to just end it. So none of you heard anything I said about that. I guess that's probably good. It probably wasn't super kind. All right. We should be back. No, it's not done. We should be back. I changed the setting in OBS to 1080p, and it is still dropping frames. I'm going to throw my computer out the window. So, I mean, it's still streaming, but it's still constantly buffering. I think we have to be done. I hate to say it, but I think we have to be done. What a shame. That is absolutely infuriating. And I know if I call them, no one will care. So, yeah. I'm sorry. I really am. It's actually extremely upsetting, but we're going to have to just be done. I appreciate you hanging out, though. I really do. And I guess I'll let you know when the next time I can do this might be. Maybe tomorrow afternoon. We'll see. I'm going to have to mess with some stuff, but for now, this is going to have to be it. Sorry. We'll try again soon. But I do appreciate you. Thank you very much.